Today we're going to be talking about the Unihertz Titan Pocket. This is a great device and I've been using it for work purposes. And I think I want to talk about form factor on this review. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on this device just in the first 2 minutes. And then after that, I want to talk about form factor because I think this device can be a good transition device for those of you looking in order to get less usage of your phone. And I think the form factor just kills it on this device. Just make sure that you are less invited to be on distracting applications and more on communication, productivity, things of that nature, while still not losing access. So things that I like about the Unihertz Titan Pocket. Number one, it has great compatibility here in the United States. Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, all of them work without any issues. The only thing is with AT&T, you may be whitelisted or blacklisted, whichever it is, and your device may become unusable. So make sure to use it with a mobile virtual network operator, an MVNO. So great compatibility. Great battery life. Because the device is not as inviting as a full-fledged screen like an iPhone, this device, I'm not using it for videos or I'm not using it to listen to, distracting things, but instead I'm using it to communicate, to send emails, to send, work things, to actually work on the device and use it properly. So my battery life has been extended from the regular 2 to 3 days to 4 or 5 days just because I'm using it just for productive tasks, and it has a very robust battery life. It has a camera, nothing impressive here, but it takes good shots and it's allowing you to, of course, take a quick snap here and there, send some information. And because it has a smart operating system, all of the other functionality works very well. So messages, you receive pictures, you're able to even install Signal or other private applications if you're into that, WhatsApp, all of your different things are going to work on this device. And it's very smooth. For regular operation, again, this is not going to be your device for media consumption. It's not going to be your device for playing games or things of that nature. It's just going to be a device for the basic things, phone calls, text messages, and a couple of apps here and there. And because you use it like that, because of the form factor that invites you less to use it as a media consumption device, I think it's a great fit for digital minimalism. See, you can be a digital minimalist in so many different areas, and I want to talk about that after I give you some of my extra thoughts on the Unihertz Titan Pocket. I think the price is very good. It has a 3.5mm headphone jack, it has a USB-C, and it has, of course, the QWERTY keyboard, and that's my favorite part of the device. It's clicky. It's definitely not up to the standard of a BlackBerry, like the good old BlackBerries, the tactile feed, but it's just way better than just your regular touchscreen keyboard, or even if you're using a flip phone or something like that. It's of course better because you're going to type faster. I personally like full QWERTY keyboards, physical QWERTY keyboards, so I'm a little bit biased, but I just enjoy the experience on the Unihertz Titan Pocket. I think it's a very good device, very well made, and it excels at the basics. It's going to have all the apps you need. It's also going to have that touchscreen element if you need it. It's going to have good battery life for basic functions, and it's going to be compatible in North America and internationally. So again, a great device that I'm really happy to have. Now, I think this device can be even more useful for digital minimalists, again, because of that form factor. As I was saying, if you have an iPhone, it's going to invite you to use it more. Yes, you can, of course, restrain it and lock it down and do all these things. But because of the form factor, this is a consumption device. Everything is fitted to, have that large screen to fill everything, to watch your videos. So everybody, has these devices nowadays. And because of the functionality, essentially, yes, you can, of course, delete all the apps and all of the distractions, and that helps you in your digital minimalism journey. But because of the form factor, it's going to be a little bit more inviting than if you have a flip phone, for example, or if you have a full QWERTY keyboard. See, the short screen is not going to be as inviting to watch a full-fledged video on this than if you compare it to an iPhone. Another device that I can talk about in here is also the Lightphone 2. See, this device has a touch screen, but because it has an e-ink screen, the form factor is not as inviting as if you have a full LCD Retina display with the greatest compatibility and everything made for it. So I think the form factor really plays a huge role for digital minimalism. So if you have a flip phone, it's going to be less inviting than, of course, your QWERTY keyboard, but your QWERTY keyboard is going to be less inviting, of course, than your iPhone or full-fledged screen phone. And then you have things like that are more niche, like the Lightphone 2 or the Punked MP02, that have these odd form factors or different technologies that are not inviting you constantly to check and do all of these things. Of course, dumb phones have the extra ability that they're limited in their functions. You're not going to have the WhatsApp and all of the apps available for social media. You're going to be more restricted in those areas, right? But the form factor, I think, is something to consider when it comes to these devices. But the Unihertz Titan Pocket has been a joy to use for basic functions, and of course that amazing physical QWERTY keyboard is always welcome. It also has a programmable key here on the side. It's red, and I really enjoyed it. Again, very good device, very easy to use. And the only kind of thing that I'm not so happy with is, of course, it's a device that comes from a company that you really need to uninstall a lot of the bloatware. They have student mode, life apps, they have a bunch of utilities that are not necessary, but I found a application on Windows, and I believe it's also available on Linux and on Mac. I'm not entirely sure, but on Windows it's available. It's kind of like an ADB manager. I know how to do it on the console, but this one, if you're unaware of how to connect your device and do ADBs to uninstall applications that are unnecessary, it brings a lot of the Google stuff. So if you want to mod your device, make sure to get rid of all of those distracting things. Then I'm going to link the program in the description and also in the comments. It's called ADB Manager or something like that. It's very well made and very easy to use. And of course, like, it allows you to not only get rid of all of the applications from this device in particular, but any Android device by that matter, any Android dumb phone or any Android smartphone, even if you want to use your devices a little bit less. So if you have any questions about the Unihertz Titan Pocket, please just let me know in the comments and I'll be interacting with you guys. I hope that my little talk about form factor makes you think about your next devices or how you want to be mindful of your usage. And hopefully it helps you in your journey towards digital minimalism. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.